everyone, it is Crystal with Pineapple Papers, and I have a design team project for Color Rush Studio, and I am using the amazing October kits, and I am starting with this beautiful floral, and I'm going to gut it because I want to use the outside of it as a mat, and I'm going to do a white cardstock base for my stash, and I am playing along with Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches, round 19. And today's amazing sketch is from Jessica Michaels. And a super cool thing, she is on the Color Rush Studio design team as well. So it's super fun to be using her sketch for a design team project. Her sketch is for day 16, and it is very much Halloween. I am not doing Halloween photos. I have two photos of my daughter. This was on a hike we went in, I think this one was in Oahu. It's whatever hike to the big waterfall and you walk through an area that kind of looks like Jurassic Park. So one of the pictures, she's got a cute little floral in her hair. So I thought these flowers were going to be great. So they are 3x4s. And I'm going to mat them with the back side of the paper. So this is the gutted area, and it's a beautiful floral as well. It's just tighter together. So I'm going to go ahead and trim those, and those are going to be my two photos. I think they might be a little bit bigger than the ones in the sketch. I'm not sure. So I decided to make them so she was looking into the page in both of them. And then as you can see in Jessica's sketch, she's got a ton of mixed media. So I thought that I would pull some of the colors from the papers. So this is a purple shimmer, not sure what it's called, from my stash. And I'm just going to use the packaging technique, and it's really light. So when all is said and done, I pretty much cover up most of the mixed media, but it's a pretty light purple. So I maybe needed to use not as much water and more pigment, or do a couple layers. I'm not sure. But like I said, I cover up most of it anyway, so I don't feel like it's really that big of a deal. So I decided to kind of spread it around with my paintbrush after I did some splatters, and then I'm going to pull in another one. This is a blue. If you need to know the colors, I can probably find them for you, but right off the top of my head, I'm not really sure. So I'm using the packaging from the acrylic kit. So this was one of the acrylics, and I decided not to do the packaging technique with the blue. I just wanted to do some splatters, and then I decided that I was actually just going to kind of paint a little bit with this blue. So you can see right here that is pretty much done. So that is my mixed media portion. Definitely not as much as she has in her sketch, but I think it still works. So now that the mixed media is done, I am going to go ahead and glue my photos down. Now I am not waiting for my mixed media to dry. I'm just not. I figure I don't really have time, and it's okay. So we'll see how much I get all over me here. So as you can see in the sketch, she's got all these banners. And so instead of doing banners, I thought it would be fun to take some of the frazzle from the kit and just kind of do the swoopy thing with the frazzle. So I was contemplating the brown. I also thought maybe I would dig into my stash. I've got some purple. Ultimately, I am going to go with the brown. And so I'm kind of trying to traipse it on here, see how it's going to look. And that kind of looks like a snake, but that's okay. I decided what I needed to do was to actually cut it apart and then do the swoopy. I think that made it look less like a snake a little bit. So I'm cutting where it needs to be. I'm going to overlap them, do the next set until I am all the way down at the bottom. And then I'm going to grab my stapler. And my stapler does not go very far. It's good for this first one, but then, and I think it's good for this one over here, but then it's not big enough, or maybe it's not big enough there. So I'm going to grab some foam and I'm going to open up my stapler and I'm going to try and just staple them. Now, mind you, I have a bigger stapler, so I'm not really sure why I chose to do this way, but this is the way that I started to do it. I do think that I grabbed the bigger stapler a little bit later, but maybe not. Maybe I just stapled them all, and I will go and like push those down and cover them with some washi tape to make sure that that everything's safe. And I think because the paper was still wet, it was a little wonky. And then I ran out of staples, so I had to go put more staples in. So now that I have that kind of swoopiness done, I am going to go into my ephemera and look and see what kind of embellishments I want. So I'm going to do this big floral up here, and I'll do this littler floral at the bottom, so kind of like start and finish. I'm going to do one at the top of my photo there. And then I kind of felt like I needed something to go on top of where the pieces join. So I'm going to cut these little bows from the paper and I'm going to put those on the edges, and they look so cute. I just love that. I think that's just the cutest thing. So I'm going to put those down with some wet adhesive and they stick great. And then I have a little bit of that pom-pom trim left as well. And I thought, oh, that might be fun to add. So I am going to add it in the top and then in the bottom. And just to give it a little bit extra. So here I'm just going to tuck that underneath. And then I'll tuck it underneath the bow as well. So you can't actually see the start and finish. And I really like how that looks. And then I will do a similar thing on the top from the photo to the left down to the cute little bow down there. So yeah, so I'm gonna get some more of that trim on, and the pom-pom trim really goes well with the banners that you see in the sketch. So that's super fun. So I'm going to trim that off. I'm going to get it all glued down. And then I will work on my title. So for my title, I am going to go into the acrylic kit from this month. And I am going to pull out the one that says Grateful. I am popping up all of these florals on some fun foam, by the way. And here is that Grateful, and it has a heart on it as well. And so in the sketch, it calls for it to be up at the top, but I do decide to kind of audition it in a couple of places, like in the middle, on the bottom, and then I will actually end up putting it at the very top, just like the sketch shows. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down with my wet glue as well. And then I believe that is going to do it for this layout. So I hope you enjoyed this. I love how this turned out. So I will have information for Color Rush Studio down below. I will also have the playlist for Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches, and make sure that you give my fellow design team member Jessica some love for this amazing sketch. Oh, and you can use my code 10Crystal, and that will save you 10% in the shop as well. So that's going to do it for me today. Remember to wear your pants, and we'll see you